Welcome to the Peak Performance and Peak Satisfaction podcast with Master Executive Coach Sherry Gregoff. Sherry helps business people perform better, get rewarded handsomely, and actually enjoy their work. After having her own career turnaround, she now helps other high-powered business professionals experience the same. Join the movement to work differently.
Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here. In our careers, there may be several well-meaning mentors giving input on your direction and next steps. While it's very popular to suggest that mentors and sponsors are crucial to your success, I am sharing the alternative view to take caution in these relationships. Career advice from a variety of sources can cause noise and confusion, keeping us from advancing towards the vision we actually want. Before we jump in, I want to shout out one of my clients who had a win in this area. Here is the quote from her. Sherry helped me see how I can sometimes people-please my mentors, even when their suggestions conflict with my priorities, values, and vision for my career. Now I know to trust my intuition and to keep their advice in perspective. This client realized a pattern where she would heed her mentor's advice against her own judgment and later would regret it and have to undo the decision. This happened with a decision she had to make between two jobs, and she deferred to her mentor's suggestion rather than her own intuition, only to have that decision indeed turn out to be the wrong one, where she wanted to leave that job soon thereafter. This time, she was at another crossroads in her career, with a different, longtime mentor strongly advocating for a traditional path. After receiving the advice, despite it feeling wrong, she said what she thought the mentor would want to hear, by agreeing with him, to reaffirm his view, to act like it was helping her, and to indicate that she would follow it. But once she left the meeting, she felt upset and conflicted. I coached her to recognize these indicators in how she felt physically as warning signs that something was out of alignment with what she deeply felt called to next. As we investigated the advice from a long-standing and well-meaning mentor, we spotted the red flags. This mentor himself was counting down the years to retirement to escape his work situation. His advice to my client was to take the high-paying job and figure out how to tolerate the downsides that came with it. This took the wind out of her sails as she went into multiple interviews with other companies that she was excited about with mission-driven contributions to society. Self-doubt and self-judgment came over her like a wave after hearing from her mentor. She felt like she had to defend her view, and if she did that, it would be contradicting her trusted advisor. She questioned the very interviews that she had been so excited to have and proud to have secured. She questioned whether he really had her best interests in mind. But when we quieted all the doubts and did a real gut check on whether accepting a similar role with more pay that she didn't want to do was right for her at this moment, she knew the answer was no. She had savings set aside for this very scenario. She knew that if she accepted a job she disliked, she would regret it, like she had done before. All it would do is serve to kick the can down the road on finding a role that was aligned with her mission and purpose. She realized this mentor wanted what was best for her, but his definition and standards were different from hers. Not wrong, but not aligned. He felt the pain of his own decisions daily and felt locked into withstanding them. But she wanted more and was positioned to create it. The mentor was doing the best he could to guide her based on the skills he had and what he knew. He was solving for a different outcome, optimizing under different values. She realized this was not a decision to outsource. This decision on career path was hers alone. She didn't pursue the roles she disliked, and instead she doubled down on preparing for the interviews that were aligned with her priorities. This is how we interrupt the pattern of people-pleasing, well-meaning mentors. It's a noisy world, filled with lots of people with lots of opinions. Oh, and AI too, with its own intelligence based on data it's been fed. I helped her cut through the noise to make her own decisions and feel great about them once again. One of the skills we learn in coaching is how to not let anyone else hijack your emotional well-being or your strategic action related to your career. These experiences provided great fodder from which to learn so that she can keep other people's advice in their place. She could intentionally take what was additive and constructive and respectfully release what was not aligned with her actual objectives. Similar victories are shared by all of my clients, and I have experienced it too in my own career turnaround. So let's hop to today's podcast content and get you on your way to experiencing this also. Mentors. It seems like such a great idea and concept. There is much ado about how to find a mentor, whether structured mentoring programs work, and also how to convert a mentor dishing out advice to a sponsor who will advocate on your behalf and stick their neck out to get you opportunities. I sometimes joke that we can start to put too much weight here, where the magical sponsor is like a fairy godmother or knight in shining armor to save you from having to create your own opportunities. If they were available, who wouldn't want one? But in real life, mentors and sponsors aren't like a genie in a bottle serving up opportunities that you dreamt of. Sometimes these genies have biases, agendas, and are certain they know what's best for you, despite the words coming out of your mouth. What's key to remember here is that these wonderful folks are well-meaning. They are doing what they think is best for you, but things can get twisted. So we need to be discerning when engaging mentors. In fact, who you decide to surround yourself with and give airtime to may have more of a direct impact on who you are becoming than you think. Jim Rohn said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That includes mentors, relatives, partners, friends. But depending on how you spend your time, that also includes podcasts you listen to, authors, cable TV, etc. Really, any information source to which you assign airtime is influencing how you see yourself and the decisions that you make. Knowing this, we really want to be choosy when allocating airtime around us. Have a sister that only serves to bring you down and attack you? Consider how things would be different if you reduce time spent with her and set specific circumstances under which you will interact. Love a dramatic TV series that gets you riled up just before turning in for the night, or is filled with real housewife drama that might actually be killing your brain cells as you take it in? Imagine if you laid off the binge watching. Maybe you have mentors from years ago who you looked up to for a long time, but now seem to give you advice that contradict with your current goals and values. Think of your top 5 people, influences, or sources of information right now. If you became the average of those 5 people, would you be thrilled? If not, it's time to curate those 5 coveted spots so that you would be. Mentors may be role models for you based on their careers, outward success, or even relation to you. It's only natural that you might want to delight them to make them proud. Think of a parent who always envisioned you pursuing a certain line of work. We may feel indebted to a parent who made significant sacrifices so that we might have a better life. To make their hard work count, we may think we must follow the career they wished for us. I've had a client chase a dream that was his father's, a dream his father was never able to realize, so he felt pressure to achieve it on his behalf. Even valiant reasons like that are not enough to follow a path that doesn't feel like yours, because underneath that honorable call, you don't actually want it bad enough to stick with it when things get hard. And even if you are successful, it feels hollow because it was never really your dream in the first place. Sometimes when a mentor seems to have all the answers and an opinionated view, we lose sight of our own goals and vision. Our intuition may steer us in one direction, while the mentor steers us in another. That mentor is a package deal. With their wisdom from experience also comes unconscious biases. It's colored by their risk tolerance, priorities, and values, all of which may mismatch your own. Maybe you are in a season where you want to take risk. You have savings, no heavy obligations, and a big vision for your career. Your mentor may have big mortgages, school tuitions, and what they see as a glide path to retirement, so they are avoiding risk at every step. Maybe your priority is to find meaningful work that leaves you fulfilled at the end of the day. Maybe their priority is maximizing earnings that leaves their bank account filled at the end of the day. Maybe you value flexibility to care for and be present with your family. Maybe they value rewards and recognition. These are just examples to show how the objectives and non-negotiables can be in stark contrast between two people, and yet one may seek advice from the other because of more years of experience, seniority, or an illustrious career. Even if risk tolerance, priorities, and values were aligned between you and your mentor, they may be limited in terms of their toolkit. It's common that their great affection for you may lead them to guide you towards the path they took, the path they wish they took, the path they saw others appear successful on. They may feel ill-equipped and even puzzled when the path you pursue doesn't match one of these three scenarios. There are good intentions, and then there is expertise. Another dimension that impacts the input you might receive from others is their agenda. A manager may guide you on your career path in a way that maximizes benefit to them. I have had a mentor discourage me from taking a different role internally because he hoped I would contribute to a different department instead. I remember hearing this advice and feeling quite puzzled. Objectively, the comparison seemed pretty clear, and subjectively, I felt strongly about that same option. But in neither case would my talent and skills be directly accessible or beneficial to him. So he took a hard stance and strongly discouraged me from taking the other role. I took it anyway. That could have led to some seriously bad blood given his position at the firm, and I might have had to pay for it politically in a variety of ways. Happily, I sailed off and never looked back, and because of where I went, he would have been hard-pressed to retaliate. I share this example because it would have been so easy to take the path of least resistance. It was tempting to be agreeable. It would have strengthened our relationship if I heeded his advice, but in my heart of hearts, I knew it was wrong. I was ready to bet on me and my view on this one, and I went for it. Just like a 360 feedback process, you get to choose what feedback to incorporate and what feedback to release. Like when you receive the feedback from a cross-functional partner who says in the 360 about you, I wish this person would learn more of my job so they could be more self-sufficient. You might decide, no, that's the purpose of their department. It's not in anyone's best interest for me to displace them by developing the expertise they were hired to apply. Or when a junior suggests in the 360 about you, I wish this person would become a technical expert. You might decide, no, I am focused on leading the team, setting direction, and clearing the path of obstacles, while the team is in place for their deep technical expertise and application of it. You have the agency to decide what input you will incorporate or not. In today's client win example, the feedback was to take a safe role with the highest paycheck and figure out how to cope with the annoyances and lack of fulfillment. It's the most lucrative option. Or you might hear this suggestion from a mentor. Adapt how you look and talk to match that of the people whose careers you want to replicate. You have to pose to fit in. Or also said by a mentor, take the job with the big brand name, even though you saw red flags and aren't that interested. It's the safest bet. As you pick and choose what feedback you decide to incorporate versus what you choose to release, remember this. At the end of this one life, there is one person who will answer for your choices: you. We don't get to point to mentors or even loved ones as making these decisions for us. Others can influence us as much as we let them, but your choices are your own, so don't outsource them. If you're looking for guidance, you may hear lots of opinions and judgment that reads as noise. Now you're sorting out others' views against your own view to get some sense of the right path forward. I help clients find the answers inside themselves when it comes to their unique definition of success, their priorities, their values, their non-negotiables that they will not sacrifice. I don't tell them what career to pursue. I help them unearth all the options and decide their goal. We filter out the noise from the input that feels useful. I help them make a decision and know their reasons for that decision and love those reasons. Then we get to work to bring the vision they decided on to reality. We move on from worrying whether it's the right decision, and instead, we make the decision right for them. When they get stuck on mining their own brain for next steps or obstacles to be cleared, I guide them to get to where they want to go. We are thought partners and co-create the next chapter of their work and life. Sometimes they ask for my ideas on direction, but the decision always remains their own. At all times, I am trained to be the objective coach, working in their best interest and leaving my preconceptions and preferences at the door. I pull out all the stops to get them what they decide is their goal. We use tools and techniques grounded in neuroscience and how the brain works. We make our way through my 8-pillar signature system. This is more than mentorship. I am a trained expert who knows how to listen and reflect back your brain's thoughts, theories, and fears to fact check and then make concrete progress forward. No personal musings or projection of my own beliefs onto you. Sometimes we look up to a mentor based on their outward accomplishments and then realize that what they have isn't actually what we want. We may uncover this as we hear them counting down years to retirement when they can escape work, or their perception of certain roles in companies. Hear this. Don't keep following someone's advice because at one point you admired them. With new information, you can decide at any time that a mentor has moved to friend status. You can keep in touch personally, but not ask for or heed advice. No mentor expects to guide a mentee for life, so don't think you're breaking hearts. You can say things like, "Some of this I need to figure out and do on my own. Thank you for all of the guidance to help me get here. Let's keep in touch as friends now." It's been said to find someone who has the results that you want, then go do what they do. One of my coaches explains it more specifically as finding someone who has the results that you want, and then think the way they think. It's helpful to have someone who is a few steps ahead of what you specifically want. It's even more helpful to have a guide who can accelerate your progress to exactly what it is that you want for yourself. This is another important distinction between mentors and me as your coach. And while we're talking about human mentors, let's discuss AI as well. I have clients tell me that they need to lay off AI and coach with me more. They see the difference in input from AI versus mine. They recount how many ways it steered them wrong and hurt their confidence or enabled a misstep in their career. Don't use AI as your trusted advisor. It's just not at that level. Hallucinations abound, as do fake facts and generic advice. Recognize that your use case of AI might be a poor substitute for expert support from a human who's been trained to see your blind spots, who can offer a diverse set of perspectives based on lived experience so that you can discern what's most accurate and helpful for you. I've been experimenting with AI to enhance my nutrition and exercise plan. It's fascinating how different tools will contradict each other. Some tools tell me what it thinks I want to hear. Others are always telling me how things need to be refined, even if it's simply undoing what it last said to do. I can pump the same details into different tools and receive many different prescriptions, with each of them dead set that this is the direction to go in. For something as important as how you lead in your work and life, don't turn to an agent. This is the specialized skill and experience that we haven't been able to bottle. Using AI for this can be like crowdsourcing opinions on social media, like you might when buying a new mattress. You ask your social ether, who has a mattress that they swear by? And in come the strong recommendations. The purple one, the one with a remote so each side of the bed can feel completely different, and a million other varieties. Here's the problem. You never specified that you're a side sleeper with aching hips, or whether price was important or timeliness of delivery, or whether you prefer firm or soft, pillow top or not. Your needs and wants may differ completely to someone telling you their favorite, and it may make the overall list of top 10 mattresses that you find on the internet less relevant for you. When we use AI for something like what to do next in our careers, it gives us a tabulated output from what it knows, not tailored to you or your industry or to what you actually want. It's blind in many ways, but great at spitting out information. When we speak to mentors, sometimes the advice can be that generic or misleading too. They may prioritize safety and security above all else and will guide you to the shortest path to landing a more stable job as quickly as possible. That may not be so relevant to you as you search for your next opportunity, because you save for moments just like this when you want to find more meaningful work, which may include a higher level of risk. So just like we would filter out our grade school friend's recommendation for a soft and plush mattress, we can filter out a mentor's suggestion as one that brings us farther away from what we want rather than closer to it. While this sounds incredibly logical in the moment, sitting across from that colleague who may have helped us in the past or is so highly regarded or esteemed, it can be so tempting to agree and even leave the conversation and action their recommendation against your own wishes, just so that you can report back that you used their input. This is people-pleasing that hurts everybody. When you take the job that you don't want to please a mentor, it's worse for you and your career, but it also strains the relationship with that mentor too. You may blame or resent them for leading you astray. Here's the tough part. Are you ready? You know I tell you how it is. The only person you have a right to be mad at in that case is you for following advice that felt wrong to you. It's not the person's fault who recommended the purple mattress. It's still on you for not doing your due diligence on what would be the best fit for you and your needs. And with a mentor, if you accepted a job that gave you pause because it's what they suggested, at the end of the day, it was your call, not theirs. So let's keep mentors in their place. They are delightful people who may have our best interests at heart, and they're just other humans doing the best they can with what they know and what they have. No one has all the right answers. And frankly, what is quote-unquote right is in the eye of the beholder. Don't outsource decisions to well-meaning mentors or even spouses, friends, or parents. At the end of your career, at the end of your life, it's on you how you used it. It's irrelevant what suggestions you receive from who. If everything in your body is screaming no, don't say yes because it's what someone you admire told you to do. You live with the consequences of your actions and decisions, no one else. Don't give mentors and interested parties power over your work and life that they were never meant to have. We get this one shot here on Earth. What a shame it would be to spend it following someone else's procedure manual or path because it's what we thought we should do or what would make us satisfied. Part of why coaching fits the bill for me is that it helps me get to the answers that are right for me, not just following a protocol because it worked for someone else. This is a process and a set of skills that the coach has and the client develops. I help you get comfortable making decisions for yourself, listening to all the well-meaning advice and deciding what you will incorporate and what is not yours to pick up. So get out there and make some great decisions. Appreciate the helpful advice and release the rest. Until next time.
Looking for support in applying the principles and strategies in today's episode? Sherry coaches clients one-on-one as their trusted confidant and advisor, helping each client create the work and life they had only dreamed of. To schedule your complimentary career strategy session, go to sherrygregoff.com/apply to book time with her today. It's one simple step that can change everything.